My official title now is Assistant Dean of Inclusive Excellence and Belonging and the Director of the Nathaniel R. Jones Center for Race, Gender, and Social Justice. The acronym DEIB stands for Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging, and most people probably are familiar with the DEI portion of that. But the belonging portion is intentional. We've included that intentionally because it really feeds into what the strategic goal is here, and what my vision is to ensure that we create a culture and a college community where people feel like they belong here. You're not just welcome here, which I think is the inclusive part. Like, inclusion is, our doors are open, you're welcome to come study here. But belonging means, we want you here, and you know that we want you here, and there's a sense of, connection there that's a little bit deeper than just sort of access. So why I'm interested in this area of work, it really stems from, it really began from a personal interest. I mean, as somebody with lived experience as an Asian American woman, and I grew up in a very non-diverse neighborhood and community. Early on, I understood what difference was. I understood feelings of belonging and not belonging. And from that sort of personal journey of trying to name and understand what I was feeling and how I was viewing the world and what that was shaping, I leaned into that with my scholarly and professional pursuits. That, it just became a passion area of mine to really make it so I wanted to have a positive impact so that others could not feel some of the negative things or experience the negative things I did, and maybe, really enjoy and celebrate sort of the positive experiences I did have. The new role really pairs nicely with my role as director of the Jones Center, in that there's a lot of areas of overlap in terms of overall mission and vision and what the Jones Center is trying to do. The Jones Center, really the mission is cultivating leaders, scholars, and activists committed to social change. And a big part of that, in a space that intersects, our work always intersects in race, gender, and social justice. A big part of that is focusing on inclusivity and equity and belonging, helping to create that. And since the Jones Center works primarily with students, it's a big part of, I found myself, it was a large part of my mental load of being the director, of thinking about how can I create spaces that are inclusive and that feel welcoming, and that those who are underrepresented and marginalized feel like they have a place. So my vision, I would like to have DEIB integrated more into the College of Law's sort of just culture and organizational as a whole. And so I know that I understand what that may look like is that sometimes we do things that get at the heart of DEIB, but probably aren't overtly DEIB. So if I were to say something like, we want to prepare folks for having uncomfortable conversations. That can mean a lot of things. And I don't think a lot of DEIB traditionally workshops, the big things that you think of stereotypically, would include that in their menu. But I think that it does fall under DEIB, because so much of those types of conversations and experiences, it's really at the root of where you start to get that cultural sort of shift a little bit. This is a long-term plan, clearly. I mean, any kind of cultural change takes time, but that's my vision. So initially, it's going to be a lot of sort of strategic planning, data gathering. So not super exciting, I know, but I'm hoping to include key stakeholders in the College of Law community. That would include faculty, staff, and students to help formulate that strategic vision of where we want to go, and then from that develop like those things that are going to be more tangible that folks are really going to hopefully start to feel the impact of. You know, the last thing I'll share is that I'm really excited to do this work. You know, I really hope that, you know, my main goal is really to have, and this is a personal goal, is to just have a positive impact. So I really do feel like in the Jones Center, I was able to have a positive impact on a lot of people, but I really do feel like in this role, it's gonna be able to allow me to, it's gonna give me a platform to really have a positive impact, not just on the students and staff and faculty that are here now, but to actually be a part of putting into place some infrastructures and some things that hopefully will continue to just keep the College of Law on the right path of making sure that we're, you know, a community that is welcoming, that it's inclusive, you know, yeah.